Assalamu alaikum dear students, welcome back to my channel. In today's lecture we are looking for answers to some questions that I have mentioned here for you people. So what is the problem that we are facing today? We assume that S and R are two relations on a set A, and we want to know whether the intersection of these two relations or their union, will that be a relation on A as well? If our answer is yes, the next question that we are looking answer for is which properties will they inherit from R and S? If these two are relations as well, then which properties do they inherit from R and S? These are the two questions we are looking answers for. So let's start. Alright students, let's try to answer our first question, which was whether the intersection of these two relations or their union will be a relation on A or not. Now, as you people know that both R and S are relation on A, meaning that they are subsets of the Cartesian product of A with itself. Okay, now if I take their intersection, both R and S are subsets of the Cartesian product of A with itself. So their intersection will again be a subset of the Cartesian product of A with itself. This will be a subset of Cartesian product of A with itself, right? Similarly, if I take the union of both R and S, just like this one, this will be a subset of A cross A as well. And what does that mean? It means that both R intersection S and R union S are relations on A as well. Alright students, we have proved that the intersection of R and S and their union will be a relation on A as well. Okay, now we are looking for the properties which they will inherit from their parent relation R and S. Okay, so what are the properties of a relation that we usually talk about? The properties of reflexivity, the property of being a symmetric relation or being an anti-symmetric relation, or the transitive property. Okay, so let's start with the reflexive property. What we are looking for is whether these two relations will be reflexive if their parent relations are reflexive. This is the question we are looking answer for. So let's start with the assumption that both R and S are reflexive relations. Now, if these two relations are reflexive, that means that for all A belongs to A, we have the pair AA belonging to both R and S because they are reflexive. Okay, so if this pair belongs to both R and S for all A belong to A, then definitely this pair will belong to their union as well as their intersection. Okay, the pair AA will belong to both R intersection S as well as R union S for all A belong to A. And what does that mean? It means that these two relations, R intersection S and R union S, are reflexive as well, just like their parent relations R and S. The next property that we are looking for is the symmetric property. We want to see whether these relations will be symmetric in nature or not if their parent relations are symmetric. Okay, so start with the assumption that both R and S are symmetric relations, right? And we will check one by one. First of all, I will check R intersection S for being symmetric or not. Okay, now let's suppose that for some elements AB belong to A, we have the pair AB belonging to the relation R intersection S. Now if this pair belongs to R intersection S, that means that the pair AB will belong to R as well as it will belong to S, right? And then from here we can say that this implies the pair BA will belong to R as well as BA will belong to S. How can I say this for sure? Because the relations R and S, both of them were symmetric. Now if they are symmetric and they have A, B in them, then BA will be there as well. Okay, so from here we can say that this BA pair will belong to the intersection of these two R and S as well. And what does that mean? We started with the assumption that A, B are any two elements of the set A such that they are related in the relation R intersection S, and then we have found out that BA will also be a part of this relation R intersection S. Okay, so this means that the relation R intersection S is a symmetric relation. And now we will follow the same pattern for checking whether R union S will be symmetric or not. Let's assume that we have any two elements AB of the set A such that the pair AB belongs to R union S. Now, if this pair belongs to R union S, that means that this pair AB will be belonging to R, or it will be from the relation S. Okay. Now, if it belongs to the relation R and R is symmetric, we know that, then definitely BA will be there as well. Okay, and on the same assumption we can say that if it belongs to the relation S, then definitely BA will be there as well. Why? Because S is symmetric as well. Now, if it belongs to R or it belongs to S, no matter where it belongs, it will be in the set, in the relation R union S. Okay, so what we have concluded here is that if you start with this pair to be in relation R union S, we have successfully proved that then this relation, this pair BA will be in R union S as well. So what does that mean? It means that this relation R union S is symmetric. Alright students, let's move on to the next property, which is the property of being anti-symmetric. Okay, and we suppose that both R and S are anti-symmetric. Okay, both of them are anti-symmetric relations. Let's start with assuming that we have two elements AB from the set A such that the pair AB belongs to R intersection S. Okay, then that means this pair AB is belonging to both R and S. Okay, and now we suppose that the pair BA belongs to R and S as well. We are supposing that. In that case, we can very safely say that A will be equal to B. And why are we sure about this? Because we have been given that R and S are anti-symmetric relations. Okay, and from here we conclude that BA will belong to R intersection S as well, but only when A will be equal to B. Okay, and that means this relation R intersection S is anti-symmetric as well, just like its parent relations R and S. Alright students, let's investigate whether this R union S will be an anti-symmetric relation or not. And I would say that it is not. And I'm going to give you a counter example for that. Let's suppose that the set on which we are defining these two relations R and S is A equals A and B. It contains only two elements. This is our supposition. And we suppose R to be containing a single pair AB, while the relation S contains a single pair BA. Okay, and let's take their union. R union S will contain the pairs AB and BA. Okay, and you know very well that A and B are not equal. So this violates the condition of being an anti-symmetric relation. That is why we say that R union S is not an anti-symmetric relation. Okay. Alright students, let's move on to the last property. We consider R and S to be transitive relations, and we will check whether R intersection S and R union S will be transitive relations as well or not. Okay, but we start with R intersection S. Suppose that we have three elements from the set A such that two pairs AB and BC belongs to R intersection S. Okay, now if these two pairs belong to R intersection S, that means that these two pairs will belong to both R and S as well. Okay, and from here we can say that AC, this pair, will belong to R and S as well. How can we say this for sure? Because we have considered R and S to be transitive relation. So if AB and BC, these two pairs belong to R and S, then AC will be also a part of both R and S. Okay, and then from here we can say that this AC pair will be a part of R intersection as well, being the intersection of these two relations. Okay, so we started with considering these two pairs in R intersection S, and we have reached at the conclusion that this pair AC will belong to R intersection S as well. So we have concluded that the relation R intersection S is transitive as well. And now we check whether R union S will be a transitive relation or not. And I would say that this is not a transitive relation. How can I say this? I'm going to give you a counter example as my argument. Let's say that the set on which these two relations R and S are defined is A, which contains three elements A, B and C. Okay, and we define R and S to be R contains a single pair AB, while S contains another single pair BC. Let's take their union. Now R union S will contain these two pairs AB and BC, and we know that for R union S to be a transitive relation, we must have AC as well, but we don't have it. So from here we conclude that the relation R union S is not a transitive relation. Okay,